Well, that was a nice fishing story. Jesus, our Lord, and his friend Peter and the other fishermen. Now, you kids that are going to getting ready for First Communion, raise your hand if you're the kids getting ready for First Communion. All of you are right over on this side. Have any of you ever gone fishing? You did? Really? Oh, wow, that many? Okay, put your hand. You know where I go for my fishing? Price Chopper, seafood department. It's a lot easier, kids, believe me. Matter of fact, I heard that last winter there were two groups of people. They went ice fishing on the lake. You know, you can go fishing even when the lake is frozen. And the one group over here were catching fish every minute, and the other group over there, they weren't catching any fish. So that group went over to spy on the other group. And they found out their mistake is when they got there to go ice fishing that morning, the first thing they should have done was put a hole in the ice. That was the Color Braze group. Anyway, so just for a minute before we have the wonderful kids be enrolled formally into their First Communion program and preparing, just a thought about this beautiful story. Jesus and Peter and the miraculous catch of fish. Really, what it's all about is that there's three moments in the story, really. And the first is that our Lord says to Peter, put out into deeper water. Now, what that means in the Bible is get into a deeper friendship with the Lord, with God, with the things of our faith. You know, some people they practice their faith. They're pretty good. They love Lord, but they're not too deep into it. They kind of stay in the shallow part of the swimming pool, you know what I mean? They kind of say, I think of God, but, you know, I don't go to church, or I'm not too involved, you know. They're in the shallow water. But in the gospel, Jesus tells his friends, go out, I want to go into the deeper water now. I want to draw you into a deeper faith, a deeper friendship with Jesus. So that's the first moment. The second moment is the story is they catch all these fish. The two boats were almost sinking. Can you believe it? All kinds of fish. And Peter feels so bad. He goes, because he had made excuses. He said, Lord, listen, we were fishing last night. We know the lake. We know where to fish. We didn't get nothing. And then he felt bad. They caught so many fish. So St. Peter, he kind of fell down before our Lord, and he's saying, listen, I'm not a perfect person. I've got some sins. I doubted you. I didn't trust you, Lord. I didn't believe you were the man. You were the boss, you know. And then the third moment in the story, at the end it says, Peter and his friends, James and John and Andrew, fishermen, they got up, they left the fishing business, and they followed Jesus, and they became leaders, teachers at the beginning of the Christian movement, the church. So it has three moments, really. Get into deeper water, get closer to me, and then get over your doubts, put more trust, forget if you've got sins, nobody's perfect. And the third moment is, you know what? I'm going to send you out now to share your faith with other people. That's what that story's all about. And it really is about me and about you, not just the kids, but of course the parents, guardians, grown-ups, relatives who are here, and all of us who are part of the household of our Catholic faith. That gospel is meant to remind us that the first step is to let God's grace break into our lives. The second step is it puts us in our place. We realize, you know, we need more of God. And the third movement is to send us out and say, now practice your faith. Walk in the way that you believe and even share it with other people. That's what it's all about. So it's one of the best fishing stories the world has ever heard. And St. Peter, he left his business of fishing. He became what we call the first pope. And Jesus later said, Peter, on you I will build my church. Very beautiful. And if you go to the great church in Rome, Italy, the body, the relics, the bones, the ashes of St. Peter are buried down there, way down below the ground. And the great church of St. Peter's is raised up over it. Magnificent, inspiring. We can be so proud. Those famous dead people, what do you call them in Egypt? The pharaohs? Yeah, they were powerful. Their tomb, it's just a pile of stone with a pointy top. Big deal. But St. Peter's is splendid. The simple fisherman of Galilee. The best fishing story the world has ever heard. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the